previous lesson and guess a new topic after learning the new words. Then watch the video after read the text. Then do practice work. Do you understand today's plan?
Yes.
If you understand, I start today's lesson. Now, firstly, revise previous lesson. The topic is previous lesson, nitrogen. I will give you some question about nitrogen. You must answer the question. Okay, do you understand me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, first question in the first group. Nitrogen with the atomic symbol, atomic number, and the atomic weight. Who wants to answer in first group? Ramazan.
Atomic symbol and atomic number 7, atomic weight 14.
Can I check? He's right?
Yes.
Okay, sit down, thank you. The second question is the second group. Nitrogen exists as a diatomic gas and mixed up about how many percent of the Earth's atmosphere by volume? Who wanted to answer in second group? Ағылшын.
Nitrogen exists as a diatomic gas and makes up about 78% of the Earth's atmosphere by volume.
Can I check? She's right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sit down. And the last question is the third group. Nitrogen has how many proton, electron, and a neutron? Which one?
Nitrogen has how many 7 proton, 7 electron, and 7 neutron.
Can I check?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next page. Find the word. Now I will give you the letter. You must make the word using this letter. Okay? Do you understand me?
Yes.
Okay. The first word. How do you think? What is the first word? Can I check? No. Great. Next. Nitrogen. It's our last topic. Yes.
Yes.
And the second question is liquid. Can I check? Oh, great. Colors. Can I check?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now I want to divide you into 3 groups using this paper. I'll give you some people. In first group, red paper. And second group, white paper. And the third group, black paper. Okay. Now, be careful. I want to read sentences. After the sentences, you must find today's topic, okay? An important element, it has 3 allotropes, which is related to your color groups, red, white, and black. How do you think? What is it today's topic?
I think it's phosphorus because phosphorus has 3 allotropes: red, black, and white.
Okay, great, thank you. Open your copybook and write today's date and today's topic. Today's topic is phosphorus and its connection. Let's start our new topic. Firstly, repeat after me new words. Repeat after me only English terminology, not Kazakh, okay? We are after me. First, phosphorus. Üçüncü period. Third period. Бесінші топ. 5 groups. Негізгі топша. The main subgroups. Реттік номер. Serial number. Proton. Neutron. Электрондық қабат. Electron shell. Электрондық қуысы. Electronic structure. Valence. Allotropy. Phosphorus. Apatit. Phosphine. acid.
Orta phosphoric acid.
Fosfor qishqili, phosphoric acid.
Phosphoric acid.
Pyrophosfor qishqili, pyrophosphoric acid.
Pyrophosphoric acid.
Qishqil qoldig'i, acid waste.
Acid waste.
Okay, thank you. Now I will give you the 2 minutes. Write today's terminology in your copybook. Okay? Students, have you finished it? Student, have you finished it?
Yes.
Okay, let's continue. Now watch the video. Watch the video carefully because while you're watching video, you must find new words. You understand?
Yes.
And you can see that the phosphorus is oxidized in the air and it's taken some of the paper with it to generate a nice P for phosphorus. So this is a sample of my favourite element. This is phosphorus. Phosphorus is a very, very reactive element, especially this type of phosphorus, which is white phosphorus. Phosphorus itself, elemental phosphorus, exists as a number of different allotropes, so a bit like carbon with diamond and graphite. And here we have one of those allotropes. It's white phosphorus. It exists as discrete molecules of 4 phosphorus atoms connected like a pyramid. And those 4 phosphorus atoms are really strained and really reactive, and they want to really react with oxygen as quick as they can.
This is the sort that is used in phosphorus bombs. It burns very easily and gives a very intense white light out of it.
So instantaneously you can see that fantastic oxidation reaction as the phosphorus reacts with the molecular oxygen in the gas inside the flask.
You can put it out quite easily by putting water on it, provided that it hasn't got too hot and the water will just evaporate.
Very reactive form. The other allotropes, black and red phosphorus, are not as reactive and are much easier for us to handle.
Then there's red phosphorus, which is in matches. It's used to make the heads of so-called non-safety matches, which are the ones that you can strike on any sort of material, on bricks and so on. And they tend to be this rather red colour here.
So the phosphorus, you'll notice that it's stored underwater, and it's stored underwater to keep the oxygen and the atmosphere away because it reacts very vigorously and can burn, hence the signs. It's very, very flammable. It's so flammable, in fact, that it burns just with the heat of the skin. So you can see a number of scars across my hands. These are all from playing with phosphorus and doing reactions and experiments with phosphorus.
Phosphorus is a very important point inside your body. Some of you may have read Aldous Huxley's book called Brave New World, which when people died, they were sent to the phosphorus reclamation plant. And each average-sized person contains somewhat over a pound of phosphorus inside their bodies. And nowadays, people can use magnetic resonance imaging to look and see how the phosphorus is used inside the body.
So I've taken a small sample of my white phosphorus and I've dissolved it in an organic solvent, which is carbon disulfide, because the P4 is molecular and it dissolves really quite nicely in this molecular solvent. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go outside and we're going to put this on a piece of filter paper and then let the carbon disulfide evaporate so we can see the reaction of the phosphorus with the oxygen and the paper.
And the average person produces inside their body about 70 kilos a day of a molecule called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy producing molecule inside the body. Now, you don't keep 70 kilos inside you or you would explode, but you're using it up all the time. But in the course of the day, you synthesize nearly 70 kilos of this molecule.
So as the carbon disulfide evaporates from the paper, well, there's a couple of drips, and you can see that the phosphorus is oxidized in the air, and it's taken some of the paper with it to generate a nice P for phosphorus.
reaction, and okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue our lesson. Now read the text. I will give you the text. You must read the text after translate. Okay? I'll give you the 2 minutes. Read the text. After you must translate it. Have you finished, students?
Yes.
Okay, let's start in first group. Who wanted? Damir?
The atomic number of phosphorus is 15. So electron configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3, and the common oxidation states are minus 3, plus 3, and plus 5.
Great.
Фосфордың атомдық номері бұл 15, және электрондық конфигурациясы 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3, және тұтығу дәрежелері -3, +3, +5.
Okay, thank you. In second group, who wanted? Okay.
Phosphorus is a highly reactive non-metal, so it cannot be found in nature in elemental form, mainly found in a mineral called apatite.
Okay, who wanted translation?
Фосфорит бос табиғат күйінде кездеспейді. Тек минерал күйінде және апатит күйінде кездеседі.
Апатиттің құрамында
Құрамында кездеседі.
Рахмет. Thank you. And third group. One.
Phosphorus is solid with allotropes, white, red and black phosphorus. White and red ones as more important and common forms.
Фосфордың қатты түйде 3 аллотроп бар. Ақ, қызыл және қара. Ол ең маңыздысы ақ пен қара түрі болып саналады.
Okay. Do you understand this text?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Continue our lesson. Okay, continue our lesson. Now group works. I will give you the picture. You must do the project using this picture. Okay? So, I will give you the 3 minutes to do this project. After you must do the project. Students, let's start in first group. Who wanted first lab project? Alisha? Okay, let's start. Time to the blackboard.
When the phosphorus is in the air, it falls to the ground along one side and is absorbed into the ground. So it makes white groundwater. Then the plant becomes fertile and the weevil falls into weeks. Okay. After the plant becomes fertile, it becomes food for animals. And is absorbed by their manure into the ground. When the earth is absorbed, it joins the rivers and becomes papyrus clothes again.
Hi, Fishin.
Yes,
Do you have any question about this group? Do you have question?
No.
Okay, thank you. Sit down. Who wanted next, please? We? Farhad? Yes. Okay, let's start.
Phosphorus is a chemical element with the symbol P and the atomic number 15. Elemental phosphorus exists in two major forms, white phosphorus and red phosphorus, but became it is highly reactive. Phosphorus is never found as elements on Earth.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Our group interested topic phosphorus and life. Phosphorus is a chemical element. Atomic weight is 31. Atomic number is 15. He has 15 electrons, 15 proton, and 16 neutron. Its electron configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, and 3p3. It has 3 electron shell. One electron shell is 2 electrons, 2 electron shell is 8 electrons, and the last electron shell has 5 electrons. Phosphor interacting with oxide forms phosphor oxide, and phosphor interacting with hydrogen it forms phosphine.
Phosphine, right?
And phosphor oxide with interacting with water forms
Phosphoric acid. Yes. Okay, great. Do you understand? Do you have any question? No. Okay, thank you. Sit down. And the third group.
Phosphorus atomic number 15. Symbol P. Electron configuration 3s2, 3p3.
Okay.
Other non-metals weight 31.
Wait, 31. Okay.
Solid physical state at 20 temperature. Wealthy acid base proteins of high valence oxides. Phosphorus is solid with allotropes white, red, and black phosphorus.
Have you finished? Okay. Do you have any question?
No.
Okay, thank you. Sit down, Maharal. Thank you, students. Now continue our lesson. Now in the middle of the work, I'll give you the table. Just a minute. I'll give you. Сәйкестендірістер балалар. I'll give you 2 minutes. Students, have you finished? Yes. Okay, can you check who wanted first grade? Aisha, okay.
First compound is phosphorus.
Phosphorus. We are agree with Hadisha?
Yes.
She is right?
Yes.
Okay, next compound is, who wanted answer? Daniel?
Second compound is aquatic.
Aquatic. He is right?
Yes.
Okay, next. Who wanted? Hamid-chan?
Third is phosphorine.
Phosphine? He is right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next. Who wanted? Farhat?
Is sodium hydrophosphate.
Sodium hydro. Yes. She's right?
Yes.
Okay, next. Last compound. Who wanted? Ahmaral?
Calcium phosphorate.
Calcium phosphorate. Okay. Check all of them.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you have any question about today's lesson?
No.
Do you understand today's topic?
Yes.
If you understand, I give you home task, homework. Write the copybook, homework. Presentation about phosphorus. If you understand today's lesson is finished. See you in next lesson. Goodbye.